Okay, I'm back. We're going to use that same difficult trinomial, 5x squared minus x minus 6, and now I'm going to show you another approach on how to factor it, doing the AC method. First of all, to do the AC method, you have to define what number is A and what number is C. As long as your expression is written in the correct descending order, A is your coefficient in front of x squared, so A is 5, and C is always your constant. So C is negative 6. So you just have to locate those numbers. Now what you want to do on the side is you want to multiply that 5 times that 6. Don't worry about the negative sign, just multiply the numbers. So 5 times 6 is 30. And what you're going to do here is list all the factors of 30. So that's 1 times 30. 30 is even, so it's 2 times 15. It's a multiple of 3. It's 3 times 10. No 4, but it is 5 times 6, and you already got 6, so you know you're done. Okay, so as long as you list your factors in numerical order, you'll never miss one. All right, from these factors, you still want to do what we've talked about with trinomials. You want to read the expression. To make this middle term, we want to subtract. So these factors have to subtract to make the coefficient here, which is negative 1. So we're going to go down the list and figure out which factors we'll subtract to give us a 1. 1 and 30 subtract to 29. 2 and 15 subtract to 13. 3 and 10 subtract to 7. 5 and 6 subtract to 1. Great. So what we're going to do now is once you get the two factors you're going to use, you're going to rewrite this expression. Instead of writing it as a trinomial with 3 terms, you're going to write it as a polynomial with 4 terms. You're going to leave the first term, 5x squared, there. You're going to leave the last term, negative 6, there. You are physically replacing this term, negative 1x. You're replacing it with these two factors. Now, it doesn't matter which factor you write first, the 5 or the 6, but let's look. If this term starts out with 5, I would want to write the 5 first. This last term has the 6, I'd write the 6. And I'm going to stick with these guys, the letter x, because to make a negative 1x, they both have to have an x. Now, I want to subtract, so I know their signs have got to be different. I want to subtract to make a negative 1, which means the bigger gets the negative, and the other term gets the positive. What you've done is you've rewritten this expression with 4 terms, but it still means the same thing. If I had positive 5x minus 6x, that would give me my negative 1x. The reason why we do this is now if we have 4 terms, we could do the method of factoring called grouping. We can group the first 2 terms. We could group the second 2 terms. And now we're going to do GCF. What is the GCF of 5x squared and 5x? Oh, I can divide both those terms by 5x. So you know me, I have to write it down. What's left? 5x squared divided by 5x is just x. 5x divided by itself, 5x is 1. Then I group the last 2 terms and I pull out their GCF. I can divide both of these terms by negative 6. So I pull out my negative 6. Negative 6x divided by negative 6 would just be positive x. Negative 6 divided by negative 6 is positive 1. We know we've done grouping correctly because our parentheses are the same. So we say, what's in common here and here? What is their GCF? Well, they have in common an x plus 1, and I'll put in parentheses what's left. If I factor out that x plus 1, I'm left with 5x. If I factor out that x plus 1, I'm left with minus 6. And that is the same expression factored that I got a minute ago by trial and error. This is doing the whole AC method. Now, I will warn you about AC. AC is great when the number for A and the number for C are relatively small. But think about this, ladies and gentlemen. What happens if A was 25 and C was 36? Would you really want to multiply 25 times 36, get that huge number, and then have to list all its factors? No. So just to give you a heads up, the AC method is great as long as your number for A and C are relatively small. If those numbers get really big, then you may want to do the trial and error method because it would be quicker. Okay, we're done factoring trinomials. The next module we learn 2 more new rules. Get ready to go.